Hello, my name is Youssef, I'm a biker. In my last video, I presented you 7 modifications to transform your Himalayan bike into off-roading bike. So now I want to present you 4 storage bikes that you need for a long trip. So let's check this out. So let's start with my tank bag. This is from the brand Solace. Compatible with non-magnetic tank and magnetic tank. This is mounted on a harness with buckles, so it's also easy to refuel the tank. You just have to open 2 buckles here, and there is a Velcro system here, and then you can access to your fuel tank. This is a rigid shell design, so it makes it stronger to maintain the items inside during off-roading. Capacity is 18 liters, but expandable in cargo mode to 24 liters. So you just have to zip, and then you can see the height is increasing by 5 centimeters, and you have additional capacity. 6 liters additional capacity. Tank bag is very handy when it's about to store items that you need regularly, such as your mobile phone, your snack, your drinks, the paper. We also put like a hot tea inside. It was kept at the right temperature when it was very cold. And there is also a pocket, waterproof pocket if you want to use it for a GPS. Me, from my side, I didn't use it because on terms of vision and control on the road, it's not that comfortable. So I use another mount in the front. And this is delivered with a rain cover. When the mount is already installed on the bike, adjustment of the tank bag is quite easy. From my experience, it stays very stable even during off-road, during long day. I don't need to adjust it regularly during the day. So here you have the front ones and then the back ones. So you can remove it easily and convert it as a backpack. So when you have to go back to the hotel. So conclusion about this item, I like the design, firm and strong, very stable, reasonable price. This is a good item for a long trip. So the second bag is the frame bag. Initially I was looking more for bags which are made for Himalayan, but finally I was looking for something which can adaptable to any kind of bike. The second reason is also to adapt to my body because I have long legs and I want to have the space for my knees. So I went for the dirt sack, 10 liters each, so left and right, 100% waterproof. They have an inner, tested already and quite strong. Fixation is not easy initially because, as I told you, this is not made for Himalayan. Dirt sack are doing that for many kind of bike. It can go as a trail bag, tank bag also. It can be also for frame bag. Then you have to use the multiple straps from the top, the bottom to stabilize it. So the first time you have to make sure this is tight and stable. It's true it will take a little bit of time, but you don't need to remove it. Every time if you want to open it, you just have to open the top straps and then you can access directly to your items. So from my side, I have used those frame bags to put additional tools, puncture kit, additional oil. I had 2 tubes, additional spare tubes, and you can also think about putting additional fuel for a very long trip. So dirt sack is quite strong, multiple pockets on the side, so very functional. After installation, I was quite happy about that. And 10 liters times 2 make 20 liters, and you use efficiently your front space. In terms of weight balance, logically it's better have equivalent weight for each side. But for my side, sometimes I was able to try different items. I didn't feel any uncomfort or balance issue because of those bags. So of course also the Himalayan has a lot of weight in the front, so you don't feel it easily. So now we are done with the front part. Let's move to the back. So first of all, before you buy a saddle bag, you need to be clear, do you want to go for flexible bag or rigid ones? And even if you decide for a flexible one, you have to make sure that this is compatible with your bike. Especially the exhaust type that we have. Himalayan is a upward exhaust, as you can see. And some bags are very close to touch a hot exhaust during the trips. So me, I decided to go for Viaterra Condor 2 UP. It's 32 liters per bag, so total 64. For 2 persons, this is limit, but we could make it for 12 days trip. And Viaterra Condor, the particularity, they are compatible with upward exhaust. Like you see here, you have really to be careful with that, because in a long trip, you may have your hot exhaust starting to burn your bag, and at the end burning also your clothes. So that will be unfortunate. Another functionality you have to consider is the bridge strap. Most of the saddle bag, they have a bridge strap will go above the pillion seat, which also doesn't make it comfortable for the passenger for a long trip. The good point for the Viaterra is that the bridge strap can go below the seat and doesn't disturb at all the passenger. Bridge strap number 1, bridge strap number 2. And adjustments like this, simple. Few seconds only. For the rest, there is a 4-point mounting with strap, which ensure stable riding. Also a good point for that, you have additional strap on the back to make sure that they are very tight from on the left and right. And they have rain cover. I really advise to take it during the rain. Even though there is an inner inside, this is not 100% waterproof. They provide the rain cover, and we tried it during hours of rain, and even though we had that, we were feeling the clothes a little bit humid. Not wet, but humid. For me it's mandatory to cover it with rain cover during rain. And on the back they have a sticker night to have a better visibility. So in terms of capacity, we were able to put our enough changes for 12 days. Of course, you cannot put so many changes. You have really to count the number of changes you will put inside. So about the negative point that I have observed for those saddle bag is fixation during off-roading. You have to tighten it regularly because this is shaking. And several times I checked that the bag was also falling down very near to the exhaust. Even we have a small impact, a little bit of hot temperature hitting the bag, but fortunately we observed that quite fast. So during off-roading, the mounting is not very stable, but for flat road, it's fine. That is the two negative points I will say. Storage is 32 liters, this is borderline, and stability during off-roading. If you have never installed any saddle bag, you need to make sure that you have previously installed a saddle stay. There is several models of saddle stay. Royal Enfield provide a saddle stay. From my side, I didn't like it because they have a big transfer bar at the back to install a rear light. And this one is simple design, no extra fitting, no adjustments, and very strong quality. This is the transfer bar, very discreet and simple. This brand is the Aragorn model. You can find that online. For me, is efficient, simple, and strong. Enough for the long ride. Now we have come to the last item, the top box. So if you decided to go for flexible saddle bag, you still need to secure your valuable items in a top box. This I choose the model of Givi which is a 42 liters plastic material, strong but light. Givi is an Italian brand. This model is made in Malaysia, but you can buy it in India. I found that in Chennai. So 42 liters is a medium size, but enough for us to put a laptop, even medical kit, and even my wife was able to put her hair dryer. So the positive is, of course, you can secure it with a lock, but the negative I found out is when it's fully loaded, this plastic is like too flexible and sometimes it's difficult to lock it. So it's very sensitive to lock it when it's fully loaded. Otherwise, what is most important is not only the top box, is how to fix the top box. If you want to have a safe ride, you need to have a stable top rack and a stable top plate. So I'm going to talk about that now. Okay, so you see, to remove the top box, you need the key, press the button, and then easily remove. So, for any top box, you need to be clear about the compatibility. Do you have the right top rack and plate compatible with your top box? From my side, I decided to change the top rack provided by Royal Enfield Himalayan because it's too short, and many riders are complaining about huge vibration on their top box, particularly the aluminum one, which is heavier. So this one is much longer and absorb the weight in the central point and avoid to have a feeling of weight floating on the back. So this is a top rack from Zana. Really easy to install also. The fitting is matching perfectly the Royal Enfield Himalayan. And after that, they provide a top plate, but the top plate from Zana was not compatible from Givi. So Givi makes things also a bit complicated, so you need to have a specific plate which have enough number of points and fix the top plate, which is provided by Givi. So we had, as I said, 12 days ride, and honestly, no vibration. We have done off-roads, we have done bad roads, and no complaints about that. So for me, it's not only the point about which top box you want to buy, what top rack and top plate you are going to install to make it stable. That is the most important in my opinion. So then again, to put it back, it takes a few seconds, alignment on the back, and then you lock it, then done. Another positive point of this one is for the pillion. There is a backrest. It makes the ride even more comfortable for the passenger. It's a kind of strong rubber, so no back pain. My wife was quite happy with that, so that is a positive point. Another detail I want to say for the top rack from Zana, you can install a backrest, but you have to ensure it will be matching with top box. So this is all about my long touring setup. So you may think why I decided to go for 4 different brands, but in fact each bag has a different functionality, and I could not find in a single brand what I need. So it's all about how to marry your bags, your requirement with the bike. This is the most important. So I hope this video helped you to decide which item you need for your long touring setup. So if you have any comment, please don't hesitate to write it down below, and see you in next video.